Liz holds a Master in International Development from the University of Pittsburgh and an International Organization MBA from the University of Geneva, as well as an BA from Ohio State University. Her professional focus is management of not-for-profit and social enterprises. She currently works for the Society for International Development, SID, and she's worked in other organizations, including one in the Ukraine. So I might say something about that. Anyway, Liz began her Rotary journey, as she put it, when she received a global grant for a master's degree studies and became a founding member of the Rotaract Geneva International Club. All right, and upon relocating to the DC area, she was delighted to connect with the Rotaract Club of Washington, DC, and now she is the president. So Liz, I turn over the rest of the program to you and your fellow Rotaractors. Thank you.
Thank you so much, President Bill. We're delighted to be here. I'm actually going to have some of my fellow members help open up the meeting. So I'm going to have our wonderful past president, Tashay Watkins, open us up.
I will be presenting the full weight test. All right, everyone. Is it the truth? We'll try again. Please repeat after me. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'll be leading words of inspiration today. So a bad day for the ego is a good day for the soul. We picked this quote because, as you can see, the ego does create a blockade between wisdom, growth, joy, and awakening. And although a bruised ego may be painful within the moment, a higher purpose is being served for the self and the world we serve. So we can think about that as we continue with the presentation.
Thank you so much, Gabe, and thank you to Tashay. All right, now that we've got you energized and paying attention, we wanted to give a brief overview of what we've been up to this year and just give you a few of our highlights and then leave plenty of room for you to ask questions and have a conversation about what we've been doing and what we aim to do next. So this has been a bit of a strange year, as it's been for you, with pandemic recovery and figuring out how to best structure our time and activities. So we really decided to focus on a few areas of multiplying impact by partnering with existing organizations to make sure that any work that we did really had a measurable result. We also decided to focus on fellowship. Many of us were feeling disconnected after the strange year and the virtual meetings, so we really wanted to provide plenty of opportunities for our members to get together, to bond as a group, to learn from each other. We also were looking for new ideas to create opportunities for service and fun. We really believe that there's no need to differentiate between the two. Any event that can combine a service element and a fun element is worthwhile. And then as a consequence of this, we also grew membership. Some really quick numbers for you. We have about 30 active members currently, with 10 new members this year, which was fantastic, and we are anticipating several more before the year is up. We've hosted a total of 22 events, which matches our pre-pandemic records for events. So we're very pleased about this, with 9 service events, 5 monthly meetings, 7 social events, and our induction ceremony last September. So we'll talk a little bit about the service opportunities we've done to multiply impact, and Ahmed will take us very briefly through some of the highlights.
Thank you so much, Liz. As you know, we are people of service. Service is something in our DNA. So basically, we were guided by Rotary causes. You know, the 7 causes of providing clean water, sanitation, hygiene, protecting the environment, promoting peace, growing local economies, and saving mother and children, and supporting education. So these are some examples of our events to multiply the impact and achieve Rotary causes, including the City Blossom at the Gerald Children Garden in Colombia. So basically, this is a space used by children, by mothers to do some service activities for this community. Another example of our events, the wider circle. So basically, wider circle is a community organization that support beds and furniture to the families in need, particularly families in transition from shelters. They are suffer from domestic violence and other issues. So basically, they provide furniture free out of charge to these families to support these families start a new life. So basically, wider circle furnishes the homes of nearly about more than 4,700 families every year to provide them with necessary furniture to start their lives. One more example of our impact, our involvement in the community is the Mount Zion Cemetery. As you know, it's one of the most historic Black cemeteries here in Washington, DC. So basically we help them, and we were delighted to join our DC Rotaract Club in this service event to do cleaning and represent the face of Rotary. Rotary is participating in in major event in the DC area, supporting the community. One more event, Food Justice DMV. So Food Justice DMV is a volunteer organization dedicated to delivering food and standing in solidarity with thousands of immigrant neighborhoods here in the Washington DC area. So we help them pack boxes, providing hygiene essentials, and do some volunteering to support the families in need in the DMV area. If you look at all these events, we were guided by our Rotary causes. We make an impact. We support the communities. We have like so many multidisciplinary approach and supporting families, domestic violence, help the environment, help children, support local economies, and that's why we are Rotarians.
Thank you so much, Ahmed. Like we said, we really tried to focus on organizations that were working directly in the community. Things like Food Justice DMV, you can really see the direct impact of your work. So that morning, we're packing boxes for families in the community, and that afternoon, the boxes are in the families' hands. And that's a new organization that we partnered with this year, and we encourage you to join us. We're there often Thursday evenings and Saturday mornings, helping to pack and sort food for delivery. So as with any of our events, you can find out more info on our website. I'll take a quick minute to talk about some of our fellowship activities this year. As I said, reconnecting after a year of distance was a big priority for us. We kicked off the year with a picnic at Haynes Point Park, partnering with the wonderful Rotary Under 40 Club, which we really enjoyed. And we held a raffle, which raised over $600 for refugee resettlement in the DMV area. We held our induction ceremony in September, and we are very pleased to welcome several Rotary members there, and hope to see you at our future inductions as well. And of course, our annual Friendsgiving, where we collect food and non-perishable goods and cash donations for the National Capital Area Food Bank, was held again in Rock Creek Park this year for social distancing efforts and was a great success. And of course, in between all these very structured activities, we've made time just to hang out and bond as a group, which I think has really helped our group cohesion and helped us work better as a team and achieve more. Now I'll turn it briefly over to Gabe to touch on a couple of our events that combined service and fun and learning.
A little more graceful than the previous time I came up here. So I think this begins with a blunt acknowledgement, which is that the dichotomy between service and fun events is false. I think that we can do both. And it's with that in mind that a lot of the focus of the club so far has not only been on what we're doing now, but also what we're thinking of doing in the future. And I want to talk about that very briefly. You see up here a couple of examples. I was fortunate enough to teach a group of people how to make gnocchi from scratch. But one of the other things that happened with this event is this actually happened for Best Buddies, which is kind of a an organization that is a volunteer organization that some of our other Rotaractors are involved in. And that's a way that we can kind of not only give people the fish, although I guess in this case it would more appropriately be gnocchi, but also teach them how to fish and sort of passing those skills forward. But on top of that, you know, there are a couple of other things I wanted to highlight very briefly. In line with President Bill's commitment to engaging younger folks, it's worth acknowledging that it's a two-way street. And to that end, we have started communicating, we've started a dialogue with the city of DC to actually look for different ways that we can find out about service opportunities from the city itself, including but not limited to emergency prep courses, which are both useful and different and exciting. The other things that we're looking at are ways that we can really ramp up our service and our fun. We're looking at ways we can individualize some check-ins and kind of find out how to meet different metrics from specific people. We're looking at how we can kind of ask people to contribute and then highlight their achievements. And why do we do this? Because I think one of the acknowledgments we also make is that the two reasons people like to participate in Rotaract, among others, are that they believe in it or that they have some personal ownership in what the club does. And I think we want to be able to give both of those reasons ample oxygen in the days and weeks to come. So we're very excited to kick all of that off with things like gnocchi, things like Cards for Kids, and we're looking forward to seeing what service and fun comes next.
Thank you so much, Gabe. So looking ahead, we're drawing towards the close of this Rotaract year, but we have some ideas for things we want to accomplish in the next few months, as well as carry forward into the 2022-23 Rotary year. As Gabe mentioned, like breaking down the dichotomy between service and fun is really important, and also incorporating learning as well. So we're looking for ways that we can kind of hit all of our goals as an organization in the same events, and also make events that are engaging, welcoming, interesting to people who might not have been interested in Rotary or Rotaract otherwise. We also really look forward to continuing to partner with DC Rotary. We've enjoyed very much working on the Mount Zion Cemetery restoration projects with them. We're delighted to continue. We're always on the lookout for new joint projects. As I said, we welcome you to join us in any of our existing activities, which you can find out about on our website, and you'll certainly be hearing from us more with additional ideas and invitations. Other things coming next, a number of our members will be attending both the district convention, district conference, and international convention, so we really hope to see you there. Please let us know if you are going. We'd like to meet up. And also, soon we will be having elections for our next leadership team, so stay tuned. We've got some phenomenal candidates running, and the club will be in good hands with many new exciting projects to come. So now we welcome any questions that you might have.
Looking at the future, so we do go to joint events together, but what can we do to make the bond stronger between both our clubs?
So I would invite you to attend any of our events. Currently our monthly meetings are hybrid, and we're intending to do that for the foreseeable future. So even if you can't come to meet us in person, you can join us via Zoom, just to keep an eye on what we're up to, hear any news. In addition to that, as I said, all of our events are posted on our website, also on meetups.com and facebook.com. Feel free to come join us. And if you have ideas for a joint project, or you know of an organization that needs some Rotaractors to help out, please shoot us an email. You can reach me anytime at president@rotaractdc.org.
I think what has made the bond so strong between this club and the DC Rotaract Club is the personal connections and the friendships. Like Marilyn and Marcus and Alexander, I know, is on Zoom, but anytime the Rotarians have embraced a Rotaract relationship has really helped. And I think that is what has made this relationship great between the two clubs. Thank you.
How many Rotaractors are there, and where do you meet?
We currently have about 30 active members, with that number expected to grow considerably. We have a few prospective members looking to join. Currently, our in-person meetings take place at 2300 N Street Northwest over in the West End. It's the third Tuesday of every month at 6:30 p.m. And as I said, there's also a Zoom call-in option that's on our calendar on our website. But we would love to see you. Yes, it's my office. Yeah, we would love to see you there.
We do have a Zoom question if Mark Wilson would like to unmute himself.
Yeah, I'm very impressed always by the Rotaract presentation, but I was really impressed by your membership success. You managed to increase your rolls by 30%. You get 10 new members with a membership of 30. How did you do it? We need to learn how to do it if you can get 30% in a year.
Well, I will say before you congratulate us too much that we also had a bit of turnover. We had a number of folks move. We also had a number of folks graduate to Rotary clubs, which is typical for us. We usually have a rather high turnover rate just because of the transitory nature of work in the city and career changes, moves. But we kind of held steady through that because, again, people right now are looking for ways to connect, looking for ways to achieve impact in their community. I think coming out of a year where a lot of folks felt disconnected, having organizations like Rotaract already existing and already doing work in the community is a great way for people to, reconnect, form new bonds. And a lot of people found us just through internet searches looking for community service projects, which is why I think the best membership growth strategy is just to do a lot of cool events, publicize them, and the people who are meant to be there will show up.
Thank you so much, Liz, and all of you who came today from the Rotaract Club of Washington, D.C., including Taché, Ahmed, Gabe. And what I wanted to say is it was great having you participate in our Mount Zion cemetery project. The shed was raised in the last week or so, and the a sign was just posted yesterday by Donnie Shaw. And we look forward to your participation in future activities like those mentioned by Kenny Barnes. We do have some very interesting work at the local level that we want to do, working with the Metropolitan Police Department, the Mayor's Office, et cetera, to address the violence in some of our neighborhoods, which is really a serious problem. So that's the first time. And that's the flip side of what we're doing on the international side with David Fishman, Mayor O'Brien, really some new interesting activities in the peace arena that the Rotaractors would also be very welcome to participate in. We are, as I said, going to have joint calendars so we know what one another are doing, and be sure we get invitations out to you. So, final note, I want to thank Marcus Soriano, who's on my youth council. This is a formal effort this year to really have Rotaractors and Rotarians work together as one family, one Rotary family. Also participating has been Alexander Tu, who's not here today. And Marilyn, thank you for your support and contributions. And I know you'll be continuing the effort when you become president of the club. Finally, we have a tradition in our club of planting a tree in the honor of each speaker. Today, you were our speaker and facilitator. So we're going to plant a tree in your honor, Liz. And we did hear back just the other day from our partners at the National Park Service. We will be scheduling a spring tree planting ceremony. So we look forward to that. We look forward to spring arriving, sure. So thank you again to all of our Rotaractor friends for being here today. And we're looking forward to our future collaborations. Sterling, so I officially adjourn this in-person meeting